We're excited to show today Tilma's giving tool, which is still a bit of a baby. It's kind of brand new. And actually, even today, I'd like to show some features that are not even been released yet to Tilma. So they're kind of still in testing mode, but I'd love to show them to you so you can see what's upcoming. And then at the end, I'd like to take some questions and also questions is for us too, because it's really great to know what people are thinking, or if there's a use case that people need to use a giving tool that doesn't exist currently, we do take that feedback into account. So it's good that this training doesn't need to be one way, is that I'd also love to listen a little bit to your feedback and to see how things go. Okay, so let's jump right in. So I'm going to use this test parish called Precious Blood, which is actually not too far from where I live, but everything we're going to see is all fake data. All the names and everything have been totally scrambled. So if it looks kind of funny. And on the left side, I'm going to go to this giving module, and you'll see that I have kind of like three little tools here. I have the transactions index, reports, and campaigns. So I'm going to start with campaigns. And this is where in Tilma, we're able to manage all the different campaigns. And kind of the definition of a campaign is kind of like a project, an appeal, a fund, a group, something that kind of the money is put aside for this purpose. Everyone can use this feature in their own way, but that's really what it's built for. So you can see I have some drafts here, some tests and campaigns, but I'm going to create a new one just to kind of show you how it works. So I can go ahead and I'm going to say this is going to be our, let's make this for our parish center building project. Maybe we're making a new building, we need to raise some funds, and we can upload an image if we'd like. And I'm going to upload. Here's a random image that I kind of had handy from Christmas. And then with the view option, we have a few different options of how we'd like to set this campaign. So we have banner only. I'll show you what that means. We have banner in page. This means that this campaign is going to get its own page that we can send people to. And then the last option is no banner or page, meaning that this is just a fund or a group that we want to keep account for, but we don't want it to be public facing. It's kind of more of a back-end accounting way. So I'm going to show you what all three of those mean. So let's start with banner only, and we can create a little brief of please give to our parish building fund. We could make a website if we want this to redirect somewhere. I'm going to leave that blank. And then credit card statement text this is what the donor is going to see on their credit card. So you can keep in mind that the credit card will always say the short name of your parish. So it will say PB parish dash, I'm going to say building fund. And then fund ID. Fund ID is kind of what you can keep in the backend for accounting purposes. So, if you have, for example, some parishes with QuickBooks or something, they'll have like a GL code or codes for different funds. So that's where you could write this here, and every single donation that's associated with this campaign will have this fund ID in the CSV file. So let's make this GL code. I'm just going to make up a random number. Okay. And now let's go to the editor tab. And this is where, if we're going to have a page of this campaign and we want parishioners to say, oh, hey, we're building a new parish center, please be generous. You can make your appeal there. You could also add images, videos, lists, buttons, a bunch of cool stuff. So if you have a cool video, my parish has something like this. And then when you publish it, I'm actually going to show you what that looks like. Actually, I wonder if my parish has this live. And I might not be able to show this after all. And that's okay. I'll show you my dummy one here. And now let's publish this. Okay. See how it looks. And here we go. This is what my building project looks like. So it's got a nice banner to it. I have my little text that I made, and here's where someone can donate. So you can see that I'm on a dummy account right now. So when I try to donate, it's not looking so pretty, which is okay. but ways to give, we can edit these all in the back end, depending on how you want to issue donations. And we kind of have some standard FAQs, and then you got your footer there, okay? So let's see what happens when I go to giving here. So now when I go to your giving page and parishioners come here, there's going to be some options. So the first question I will ask them is, what campaign do they want to give to? And you can see here's all the campaigns I've made. Here's the one that I just finished making. And this is where it will automatically, it won't take me to a new page. It will just sort of update this page with whatever the campaign is that the parishioner wants to give to. And you can see that there's always a little brief line here. And that brief line is, the same one that I've created in the back end. Let's go back to settings. That says this brief here, okay? So that's what banner only is. It means that someone can switch quickly from page to page, okay? So let me show you right now what a banner and page looks like. So let's click update. Let's refresh this. So now, just like before, if I go to campaign, I can choose building campaign, but now there's this button here that's going to say view our impact. When I click on that, now I have this whole page dedicated to only this building project. And you can see no one can switch from campaign to campaign, and I could add a lot more content here and people can donate whatever I want. So what I could do actually is I could take this link and I could post this on Facebook. I could send this out to my email list. I could put this on the homepage, whatever I'd like, if I want to link people specifically to this one appeal. And I regret not being able to show you what the donation experience looks like because I don't have an org set up, but maybe afterwards I could show you a parish, one of our parishes live on Tilma who's using this function, okay? So that is page. And then the last one here would be, the last option here is going to be no banner or page. And I'm going to update. I'll show you what that looks like. So now when I go to parish giving, and I go to the building project, you know what, it should not really be showing here. Well, the idea is that it's not really supposed to show as part of this list, but when I log transactions in the back end, I should be able to still to choose it as a list, okay? So I'm going to leave that be for now, and we're going to come back to that, okay? So that's really what this is. And then, like I said before, people can choose to give in a certain way. I'm going to show you a parish here in Vancouver that's using this tool. That could maybe be an example so that we can see something a little more live. So you can see when a parish goes here, their standard campaign is to give to the weekly mass offering, which is a default. And then they have a couple others. They have Alpha, and they do have this parish center campaign. Now, when a parishioner chooses to give, they can choose the amount that they want to give, and then they can choose if they'd like to give one time or weekly. And then when they go through the process, they'll be invited to log into their account, and it will walk them through the steps. So the great thing is we're actually going to update this giving functionality very soon so that a parishioner will now be able to give monthly, annually, weekly. They can have some more options. And the other neat feature we're going to be adding very soon in the next month, I'd say, is that the donor can now have the option to cover processing fees. So let's say every transaction costs you about 40 cents. The donor could have a little checkbox there that could say, hey, yeah, please cover, I'll donate an extra 40 cents so that the parish doesn't have to. That's a really neat thing. The other thing is that when a donor chooses to donate one time, let's say $50, and they go click donate, the system will prompt them and ask them if they'd like to instead sign up to be a monthly donor for whatever appropriate amount that they were about to give. So maybe if they were about to give $50 one time, it will prompt them to give, $15 monthly. And that's a great thing because, if your parishioners are visiting mass at a different parish, or, they forget to bring envelopes one day or what have you, the parish can really rely on that income still, and it's one less thing for the donor to worry about bringing. Okay, so that's a really neat feature that's coming up soon. I'm excited about. So next thing is when someone signs up for weekly giving or monthly giving or what have you, on each person's profile, so this person, Stacy, you can see she has all these tabs on the top. Now, when I navigate to her giving tab, and you'll notice just for the people who are new to Tilma, you can see that how I got here is if I go into the people tool, I can have all my fake people here, you know, and I can search for someone and open them up. So that's how I got here. And I'm going to use Stacy as an example. So you can see for Stacy, she has 2 recurring giving, and these are tests that we've created. So she has a weekly donation going to this test giving account that we've created. And she's also donating $7.05 to this weekly mass offering. Okay. So for each of these, we can do a couple of things. We can edit the pledge and we can update the card on file. Now, who can do this? Now, Stacy can log in to her own Tilma account, go to her giving tab and edit this herself. So if she wants to update her own card, she wants to change the amount, she can do that. But the parish admin could also do this. So if Stacy calls the parish office, you could type in her name, look for her giving tab and come over here. So we would click on edit pledge. You know, we can edit the amount that Stacy wants to give. We can update the frequency to monthly or quarterly, semi-annual or annual. Okay. And we can also change the campaign. So instead, she wants to give to the expansion project or the weekly mass offering. Okay. And then I click save changes, or if she has an old credit card, I can click update credit card on file, enter her new name and click save. Okay. Or if I just want to update the card, I can go ahead and do that too. Of course, I can also cancel the recurring donation if she no longer wants to get with us. Okay. And obviously you could do the exact same thing with weekly mass offering. Okay. There's a couple other tabs in here. We could go to history. So like I said, this is in development and I kind of have a super admin view. So you're seeing kind of some weird things that you won't see, but you can see the days that she's given before. There's a little button for her to edit the recurring donation and we can see how much is happening. Okay. And the last thing we can do is give now. So if Stacy calls and she says, hey, I'd like to make a one-time donation, you can go into the, or let's say she goes and you need to charge her for, she wants to buy a candle from you or something. You log into her account, you set the amount, let's say the candle costs $5. You choose, okay, yeah, this is a one-time, or you could do monthly or whatever you want. And then you choose the campaign. So if you have a candle or a parish store gift shop at the back or something, you can do that or whatever. And then whatever you want to do, you click process payment and it will charge her the $5 for this campaign. And so you'll notice this is how campaigns are used when you're not using them on a page. So if you don't want to make a public facing campaign, you can still have these little campaigns in the back end for staff to use and assign people funds. Okay, we can go ahead and click process payment or update the card on file as needed. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to show you is the transactions index. And this is where we can log all of the giving that's taken place on your parish's account. Okay, so keep in mind, like I said, I'm working with a dummy account. So some of these numbers, you can see they're zeros, they're not adding up. That's okay, because I'm not working with real data or people. You can see this is my name over and over, and we've got a lot of testing going on here. So there's a few things I can do with this campaign. I can see the total transaction value. So from November 26th to, let's make this a little bit longer. You could say in the last 12 months or this year in the year 2022, you know, this parish, they've processed $4,600. $3,800 of that was one-time donations, and $780 of that is recurring. It's either happening every month or every week. So you can see a bit of a breakdown there for whatever the filter is. And we can also, this is all the donations coming in, but we can also filter this by some campaigns. So I can filter it down by the expansion project. Let's go a little bit longer. Let's say last year. There we go. Someone gave $50 to this expansion project last year. And you can see they gave 50. It came in on January 1st. They paid with a credit card. It was a one-time donation. and it went to the general fund. And of course, we can go on and do that for multiple campaigns. I got all these test ones here, so obviously it's not going to be showing very much. Okay. And then for each person in these campaigns, I can go and I can click on their little 3 dots here, and I can view the family info. And I can look at all the donations that this person has processed if I want to see more information about them. Okay, and that should, I'll go to the giving section, and I can see how much they gave and when, if I want to see just that one person. Okay. And yeah, so that's really the transactions index. So you can see some of these are credit cards, but I also have some offline donations, and this is the new feature that we're going to be adding very soon. So it doesn't work perfect yet, but I'd like to show you kind of what it's capable of. So I would click add donation here on the top. And this is, when you get your envelopes on a Monday morning, you could go ahead and click the date. This came in on Sunday, the 23rd. Yeah, it was for, you could say it was a second collection or a weekly mass offering, whatever. And then you can type in the name of the person that this donation was for. And if that person is not showing up, you could also create a new person, or you could also search the envelope number. We don't really have a lot of envelope numbers in this test, but if you search for an envelope number, it would show up there. Okay. So I'll type in my name. Let's say how much the donation was, and we can choose, is it a cash donation, check, in kind, or some sort of external third-party processor, maybe through the diocese or something. Okay. And then when I click save donation, it should appear nicely in the index, and I'll see it on my profile there. So now when I go to my profile, I'll go to giving, history, and here's my offline donation that I just donated, the campaign it went to, and the date it went out on. Okay. So next I'll show you reporting. So reporting is where we can take all these donations and we can export them as a CSV file as we'd like. So we could say weekly mass offering 2020. Let's filter by date range. So I want to see all donations that happened starting on January 1st. We should actually make this 2021, right? Okay. And then donations that ended on December 31st. Okay, so last year, 2021. And we can filter by campaign. So I only want donations that came to the building project. Okay. So now on the top here, I'll click update, or I can even just click download CSV. And what that will do is email me a beautiful CSV of all of the donations, the name of the person, the campaign it went to, the fund ID, that GL code I was talking about, if it was offline or credit card, and all that beautiful, one time, weekly. So that's how I can get a report. And then in my reports feature here, you can see that report saved. So if I ever want to come back to it, I can also export it again. I can delete it. I can edit it. So the report is saved for me to always come back to if I ever would like to come to it again. So that is really the giving functionality in a nutshell. I know it wasn't too long, which I think is okay, but that's really a general overview. I'd be happy to take some questions, or maybe if you have any feedback for maybe how your parish is using giving that we might implement into Tilma. I'd love to hear more. And also, like I said before, Daniel's on the call too. So, if I cannot answer it, he definitely will be able to.